Yo, he blacking out. He threw his bike and everything. He going in.
I got my own. She got her own. I love what she done to you. You get
Oh, he
out.
complained about a chick. She said, "You get out." She put the nigga out. He blacking out. See what y'all do, y'all holy ones? Y'all put dudes out and drive them crazy. Stop putting dudes out like that, man. Where you at? Where you at? Y'all be putting dudes out and making them go crazy. She's some of my bullshit. That's his bike he threw down earlier. Another day in New York City, baby. He said he keep it real with her. And all he ever did was keep it real with her. And she kicked him out, allegedly. Somebody pressing him, telling him he gotta leave. Somebody going in on him, telling him he gotta leave. Put the bike down. Everything he's gonna say. Yeah. Guess show is over for now. He fixing his bike right now. You're still trying to make him leave. Yeah. See, this is what the system does. It breaks up the harmony of a relationship by adding certain monotony and certain stresses upon a relationship that ultimately causes the relationship to dissolve, and then it leads to people blacking out like this. This is what the system does. This is why we so adamant and so devoutly against the system, let's say. But this is what it does. It creates it creates a situation like this, where people got to be in the street blacking out, going crazy and stuff like that. That's what it does. It creates a system where people is in the street blacking out, going crazy. And nobody else is doing nothing. One guy came over and spoke to him and eventually told him he had to leave. One guy ended up telling him that he had to leave. Which is the dude across the street in the red. Now, it seemed like he was like being like harassing him to leave at first. Then it seems like at a certain point that he was, that he was like trying to help him or whatever. They might know each other from a program or whatever. He looked like he was a drug. I'm not being, stereotypical or anything, but from my numerous interactions on these streets and giving out food and other items and just being out here and stuff, I get a strong feel for certain things. And he struck me as an avid drug user. So what happens is, let me put this back. So what happens is, nah, I ain't putting that there. What happens is, him being an avid drug user probably stress this relationship. Unless she's an avid drug user, then that would stress the relationship. But if she's clean and he's an addict, which usually is what happens, not even addict, we don't believe in the word addict, pardon me. He's a drug user or a drug abuser. She got tired of it and she throws him out, and he's out here going crazy and you know, stressed out and stuff. But this is the strain. Even drug uses and drug abuse is something that's a strain that's put on the individual via being in the system. By being in the system, it creates these type of dynamics where you want to escape, because the system is not natural. The system is a enclosed what do you want? It's a boxed in type of mentality where you get to the point where they have you doing things that is not natural. They have you practicing monotonous behavior that's not natural to you. And to have to do it over and over with such limitations drives the individual crazy, and you need escapism. Drugs is an escapism. Entertainment is an escapism, whether it be regular television, whether it be sports, video games, so forth. Eating becomes an escapism. And then, you know, we want to eat, so we don't want to make big whole meals. What we do, we eat fast food. We eat stuff that's quick and easy to get to because we need a quick fix. Like a drugs, quick fix. Video games, quick fix. Watching a sports game, quick fix. So that's what we do. That's what the system does. The system puts out, it doesn't put out, it creates a dynamic where the individual wants to escape. And when you want to escape, you're going to take the quickest and fastest avenue to do that. And it leads to psychological meltdowns like what we just saw here. Now, I didn't just show you that, guys, that I didn't show you guys that to be funny and try to, like, you know, clown the guy or anything like that. I just wanted you to see firsthand how these type of things take place. This is very important for us to really be able to understand how the system psychologically corrodes, erodes, and breaks down the psyche of the individual, and then eventually the collective. It starts with the individual, and once that person cracks, their destroyed psyche begins to, their destroyed psyche leads to a behavior that's destructive to the people around them, and eventually the other people, as more people crack and exhibit certain behaviors, it gets to the point where the majority rules, and it becomes a psychotic situation for everybody. What you looking at out here, you think you see this, like, this stuff is normal? Like, you say, oh, there's nothing, people wait for the bus. If you look at a lot of things, of things that we consider normal, they're not really normal. That's the reality of the situation. These things are nowhere near normal. It's just really not. First of all, you see this right here? Concrete, that's not normal. That's not the earth. That's a scab over the earth. It's not natural that we're not connected to the earth. It's not natural. You see that tree? That's natural. You see that pole? It's not natural. You see that light? It's artificial. It's good that we're able to harness electricity and have lights and stuff like that. You see how all these clouds, you know, even these buildings and these structures and stuff, a lot of them are not natural. A lot of the stuff that they mix into to make the cement is not natural. And it's not natural. First of all, you're not supposed to be living way up there, because we're supposed to be connected to the earth. So when you're living on the 3rd, 4th, 5th, or the 29th floor, the higher you are up, the less you're connected to the earth. That's not a natural state to be in. There's nothing natural about that. In fact, it creates a level of psychosis. It creates a level of depression. A level of, it destroys one's melanin. Melanin is a key chemical to a higher arch of energy. That's why in the movement, the Institut, Church of Christ Consciousness for Worldwide Hope, we teach the individual specific techniques and avenues to reconnecting to our unlimited infinite potential and escaping out the box, regaining our identity, so that we can exhibit our unlimited infinite potential. That's what we do. We have specific techniques and ways of going about doing it. A lot of times I don't come in these videos and put that out there, because I'm not trying. A lot of people are gurus for money. A lot of people out here are scammers for money. So they're going to take the information and run with it and jump on the radio and jump on the, other shows and podcasts and talk about it, and they're going to wow people with it, and then you're going to give them your money. You're going to find out you're going to practice it. It's going to be done incorrectly, and you're going to mess around and die or get hurt, or someone else going to get hurt from it, or you're just going to get flim-flammed out your money. Then you're going to be mad. So what we rather do is let you know that we have the information, and if you want the information, come to us. That's it. Simple and plain. So, about to bring this live to a closure. Let you know now, I'm not your average priest. This is not your grandma's religion. I might not like you. See how she walking? Not trying to be funny, not trying to be disrespectful. That's not natural for her to be like, that's unnatural, like for her to be hurt like that, limping. Or, you know, a lot of things about us. Even look at people right there, overweight. That's not natural for us. Even the weight that I am is not natural. Because I'm not solid muscle. If I was solid muscle, that'd be different. For my height, my weight is okay if I'm solid muscle. But when it's a lot of it is fat, that's not good. I did a specific, I did an experiment. I spent a few years eating the wrong foods, not pork and red meat, but a lot of stuff that I shouldn't be eating. And out of a lot of, like, I'll go and eat French fries from McDonald's, knowing that they cook it all in the same grease. I'll eat stuff out of a Chinese restaurant, knowing they cook it out in the same grease. Eat stuff out of a lot of fast food places, onion rings and stuff out of a chicken spot, knowing they cook it in the same grease as the chicken. So it's almost like eating a chicken. I ate a bunch of bread, drank a bunch of sodas, a bunch of carbonated juices, a bunch of sweetened juices, a bunch of artificial flavored stuff. For years, I did it for like 2 to 3 years. This whole kind of stuff. I was around people who secondhand smoke a lot. I put myself through that on purpose so that I can damage the level of health that I had. And by doing that, I want to see if I could rebuild it and how quickly it could be done. That way I would know and it wasn't just me, it was a bunch of other individuals that did the experiment as well, a few dozens. And we wanted to see if we could get back and how quickly. Now, this is from a person that's vegan, is drug-free, alcohol-free, smoke-free, in shape, works out, to a person that did all of that. So if you never was on the level of being vegan and healthy on a certain level, and you was already messed up, how much work would it be for you trying to change yourself? Like, other words, if you was a person that ate meat, pork, red meat, and all this other stuff all your life and you never was vegan, for you to just go vegan, we want to see. If a person was already on that path and went on for 2 3 years and got back on, how hard is it for them to get back on? And not just how hard is it to get back. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, how hard is it for them to achieve the level back that they had before they went there? In other words, if you weighed a certain amount and you were fit in a certain way, how easy would it be to get that back? If your health was good and you didn't get sick and you didn't have headaches, you didn't have anything, how easy would it be for you to get that back? That's what we was trying to see. And that's what the whole experiment was about, how easy it would be to get back. And after all them years that I did of that in that experiment, it's been a few years since I've got out of that, and I honestly can say I'm barely back. I find myself having a lot of health issues that I didn't have, and that was years later. I should have snapped back already. So my thing is, if I didn't snap back already after decades of following that lifestyle, a healthy lifestyle, if I stopped for 3 years and it damaged me to the point where 3 years later I'm not back yet, imagine if you never was on that path. I tell you that because a lot of people feel like, oh, if I go vegan right now, if I go, meditate, and I learn a few teachings, I listen to a couple of gurus on YouTube and stuff, it's going to change my life. It's not. It really ain't. So I'm here to let people know firsthand from me and dozens of other people that did the experiment, and dozens of people that just finished doing the experiment a few months ago, and well, more than a few, it's almost a year now, and a bunch of people that just finished a few months ago. Well, one person finished a few months ago, only one person. The other people, like 3 more people, are going to be finishing in like 2 months. We like, the experiment is continuous, and everybody's having the same problem coming back, and it's a lot of reasons for that. So this is to let you know that none of that is going to save you. Being vegan, grounding, meditate, yoga, trying to astral project, trying to chant affirmations, the whole law of attraction, none of that is going to save you or help you in this day and time. If you wasn't already on a path for more than 30 years, you're not going to make it. Rahul.